Two guys have Minnesota sports flowing in their veins. Mackey and Judd on Score North and ScoreNorth.com.
Write it down. You like writing things down?
Alrighty, here we are.
Write that down. I don't have a pencil. Well, remember that then.
The OG edition of Write That Down. About a decade in the making, the only show that actually puts statistics next to our predictions, unlike all these other cowards in the sports media space.
They steal the idea, but then they don't track their predictions.
Yeah, bunch of frauds out there in the sports media landscape. So before we get to our accountability session, our predictions for the week here, Underdog is powering Mackey and Judd today. Dex?
Yeah, so right now at Underdog for NBA playoffs, they have the extender going. So if you got in on game one of a playoff series and you continue to make predictions and picks higher or lower in those games, you get a new boost for each game of that series. This will then restart again for the second round, for the conference finals, for the NBA finals. So get in on the action at Underdog. Promo code SCORE gets you up to $1,000 deposit match. Thank you to everyone who has signed up. Send me those wins that you have won and pick them on higher or lower. Appreciate Underdog being on with us here on Score North, Mackey and Judd, Twin Show, etc. So go download Underdog, promo code SCORE, SKOR, for a deposit match.
All right, dudes, let's do some accountabilities
Write this
here,
down.
and then we can get into our predictions for the week. Here's how it works, by the way. It's 3 predictions from everybody on the show. They must be quantifiable. Those are really the only rules. We keep track of batting averages and home runs. And listeners, if you want to be like Nick and be a guest listener predictor, you can send Declan a message through the Score North app, and we'll get you scheduled. So, okay, Judd, you said the Wolves and Lakers would split the first 2 games of their playoff series. Nice job.
Thank you.
Looked a little dicey there for a minute in the fourth quarter when the Wolves were storming back, but it'll be.
I had a
split
feeling that
going
was
back.
coming, though.
The Wolves run.
Yeah, because they didn't play that well, but I had a feeling that there was going to be a response, which I actually liked.
Yeah, JJ Redick was like
The timeout.
kind of despondent in his postgame.
Well, the timeout he called, where
Yeah,
the mic picked him
the F
up.
are we doing?
Yes, he walks out to the baseline. Basically, he's pulling guys back. That was very interesting.
Yeah, he also got on Luka a couple times because Luka's just, we talk about like Ant and Cat back in the day complaining about officials, and it's like, dude, how does Luka gets technicals,
Right.
but it's almost like officials are afraid to give him a technical. There was one moment in that game last night where Luka said, or it was LeBron actually. LeBron said something to an official, like dropping an F-bomb, and Ant walks over. He's like, "That's a tech." He goes, "If I say that, that's a technical. Give it to LeBron over here." But those guys, I think they're afraid to tee those guys
That's a technical foul.
up. Yeah. That's a technical foul.
Alan Horton was just savaging Luka Doncic the entire first half. Like, oh, well, there's Doncic being a little baby. Well, actually, technically, he's a big baby. Yeah,
I love
it
Horton.
was.
I
Yeah,
love him.
and then like, no, Luka pontificating for a foul. Trust me, no one's gonna believe you. It was awesome. I was like, wow, this is incredible.
Dude, Horton's the best.
Yes.
Okay, I told you guys that John Cena would win his 17th World Championship, the record breaker at WrestleMania.
What a fart noise.
He did. I texted Declan a bunch of other correct predictions, but I should have put him on the board here. Mike also said, listener Mike said John Cena would beat Cody Rhodes. And then Dex had a couple red ones come off the board here.
Just scuffling this year.
WrestleMania parlay, you said Cody Rhodes would win. He did not. Jey Uso at CM Punk would win. He did not. You said the Wolves would win game 1.
Oh no.
Rudy Gobert would drop at least 15 in that game.
That's
And
not bad.
Ant doesn't get a tech.
I meant one basket for Rudy Gobert. That's what I meant. I meant one basket.
Yeah.
'Cause he finished with 2 points.
Man, there's so much more to get to on Flagrant Howls, but people just completely incorrectly shredding Gobert in this series. Now, he could grab a couple more rebounds. Like, come on. Like last night, grab like 3 more rebounds, and they might actually have swung that game. But part of what the Lakers' offensive strategy was just spamming pick and roll to get Rudy matched up on Luka. They would spend like the first 15 seconds of the shot clock just literally spamming pick and roll, calling Rudy to the table, and and then the crowd would get into it. Oh, he's Luka's gonna cook Rudy.
He's on skates. Yes.
Nope. literally gave up one basket all game in those
Yep.
situations to Luka. Yeah, he's on skates. Yeah.
Yeah.
Here he
on skates.
goes.
Yep.
It's ridiculous. So with that, here's the season stats. The season runs from Super Bowl to Super Bowl. So we're still pretty early here, but I'm batting 318. Listeners are batting 261. Judd 172. Declan 158. The reigning batting champion here.
Carlos Correa. This is Purple. I mean, well, I will say I feel good about the draft. We'll have a big accountability session on Purple Daily, obviously, next week. But this is I've actually got, I forgot to tell you guys, I have a nagging wrist thing that I've had since last year that just flares up sometimes on Wednesdays when I make my predictions, and it's just something I have to deal with going forward. And then also, I'm not going to IL myself, even though I'm taking up a roster spot for the last 5 days, which is happening again with another Twins player. It hasn't upset me at all. It doesn't set me off on the Twin show again for the 19th time in the Baldelli Falvey era that they can't IL someone because they think they can sneak him by without ILing him instead of just having him go on the injured list and take up a roster spot. But we're going to do it again with Willie Castro because we feel good about where the oblique is heading.
Also, it'd be one
insane.
thing, like Willie Castro, I know he can play a lot of positions. He's not like, he hasn't been good since like June of last year. So it's not like you're, you know.
Did I read that Castro also worked out before the Braves series and like convinced them not to IL him? I think I read that. So like he's like, I'll be good. Well, but the problem too is this though. Like if you put him on the IL, you're going to have to recall a guy, and we're proving right now, like this Keyshaw thing's a disaster. He's not prepared to play. He was forced to come up. Like it's ridiculous. He shouldn't be. Oh wait, he's really good.
If you rank
this just in,
if you rank Twins players based on how much they look like a ball player,
Luke Keyshaw.
Keyshaw 1, Harrison Bader 2. I mean, it's a good list.
Mm-hmm.
Keyshaw has great hair. He's got hockey hair. He looks like he could play the left wing at the X.
Yeah,
tomorrow
and it's
night.
like he comes to the plate for his first plate appearance of the night, and his uniform is already just like soiled in dirt from head to toe. It's amazing.
But his at bats are fantastic.
Yeah,
he's super patient. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So and then home runs, I have 3. Judd has 2. Declan has 1. Listeners still looking for their first home run of the season. All-time stats dating back to 2018. Declan a 340 average. Judd 318. I'm at 280. Listeners 266. Judd leads with 358 career hits. Listeners lead with 70 career home runs. All right, let's get guest listener predictor Nick in the house here, making his return to write that down. Rocking your Ant-Man shirt. What's going on, man? Nick, can you hear us?
There we go. Got me?
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
we got you now. Yeah.
My internet decided to sabotage me.
Yeah, I think the internet sabotaged the Wolves last night. We were talking off microphone. I'm just going to bring this conversation to the show here because we were talking off mic. I was definitely agitated last night. Did a solo post game show, Flagrant Howls, but I woke up with full positive Phil clarity about this series. The Lakers are in trouble even after last night. You said you woke up even like more mad after going to bed.
I think it was just how it played out. I mean, I think they should have just stole it at the end. I mean, we'll see. I'm not worried. Never was worried.
Yeah. They should, because they've done that so many times. The Rockets game where they'll just like steal a game. Now they'll blow a game at the end too with the best of them. But it did have that feeling where, oh, here we go. It's 11. There's still 3.5 minutes to go. Anthony Edwards is going to pop off. And they went from having a near historic 3-point performance in game 1 to one of the worst shooting performances of the year for them. Can we find a little bit of middle ground? Just hit like 38% of your threes in a game. We don't need 50, and they would probably win that game last night.
Yeah, I think they're ready.
It's gonna be okay, young man. It's gonna be okay.
We're going through it.
It's all right.
We're going through it.
It's Minnesota sports.
Yep. Well, we can make some predictions and manifest some things here. So we'll start with Nick. We'll go over to Judd, Declan, back to me. We'll make 3 trips around the room.
Write this down.
Here we go, Nick. Let's do it.
All right. Well, shout out to Shannon Sharp on this one. I don't know what he's got going on, but
a lot.
I think we all read about it.
Jailbird, Snowbird, bird is the word. Wolves in 5.
Wolves in 5.
All right.
That's a good idea.
See, you're fine.
Yeah.
I'm ready to get my heart broken, but Not yet. Not this
Yeah.
series.
Yep. And look, I mean, they have to get some credit for going to the Western Conference Finals too.
Absolutely.
So it's not like they've ripped your heart out last year. The Dallas loss was tough, but that's still a pretty damn good run. So I mean, my team would take that run in a heartbeat. My hockey team.
Yeah. Well, nice little fight last night by your Minnesota Wild.
A very odd game. A very odd game. All right, write this down. Kaprizov will score at least 2 goals in games 3 and 4. So he'll score 2 goals over that period. So at least 2 goals. So I'm not saying he's going to score 2 goals in game 3 and 2 goals in game 4. But in the next 2 games at the X, he will have at least 2 goals or more.
Okay. Trying to get that batting average over 200 here. Seems like the strategy.
Yeah, but it's the playoffs. Time and space. Vegas is going to have a response here. So, because I gave it some thought of like 3 goals or something, but yeah, playoffs are tough.
Wouldn't want to push it too far.
He did get the empty net goal last night, which was his second goal. But yeah,
he does have the best odds of any skater in Game 3 to score a goal. Plus,
yeah, because he's literally one of the best goal scorers in the entire league.
Yeah, but,
so like, yeah, he's
but it's
probably
hockey.
Gonna score a goal.
The puck could hit a breezer. The puck could hit who knows. Could deflect. So yeah, I'm gonna keep it at 2. You guys mock away. Okay. Mock away.
I'll keep topping baseballs. Write this down. Wolves close this out in 6 games or less. 6 games.
You're still confident too.
Yeah, 6 games or less. Not a 7-game series. 6 games or less, and a Wolves win.
Yeah, I'm gonna positive. Phil's gonna keep.
Write this down.
Keep going here. I'll say this: the Wolves in Game 3 will have at least an 18-point lead at some point. They will have an 18-point lead or more. I was caught between 15 and 20, so I just picked a number in there. I don't know. I think the crowd's going to get rocking. I think Luka's already kind of off his game. The Wolves got a little chippy, maybe even a little dirty in a couple spots last night. Jaden McDaniels at one point kind of did a drop toe hold on Luka and kind of tripped him.
Well, yeah.
Naz Reid got a little, there was a couple little things in there that they're trying to get under the Lakers' skin here, and it's working. So it's turning into a bit of a hockey series in that regard.
This is where the whole officiating thing, to me, which I was fighting with people on Twitter last night about, the Wolves are playing physical and they're bordering at times on dirty, so they're going to get called for a lot. Like that's the thing is, part of the reason why the Lakers, and I know it's a huge stretch here, but part of the reason why the Lakers didn't get called for a foul until there was basically late in the first half was the Lakers came out super passive.
Of game one, you're talking about.
Yeah. Game 1, they came out super passive. The Wolves are pushing them around, and they're not going to stop. Like, you can't stop now. The way to get to, quite frankly, LeBron and Doncic is to try to push them around. So I love the strategy, but like Wolves fans are like, that's a terrible call. That's a terrible call. No, they are literally purposely like doing this. They're pushing the envelope.
Well, also, the Wolves shot 5 more free throws than the Lakers did last night. So the officiating was definitely, I side-eyed it in game 1 because how do you not get called for a foul until the 4-minute mark? Could you? The NBA already has this kind of conspicuous cloud hanging over it that they look to manipulate games for teams that they want to advance, and hell, they had an official 20 years ago that wrote a book about it. So that's always going to hang over the NBA. And when the Lakers don't get called for a foul until the 4-minute mark of the second quarter, sorry NBA, but you're literally bringing it on yourself. Last night, I didn't think officiating was anywhere near the top 5 reasons why the Wolves lost.
Right.
But to your point, yeah, and we'll get more into this on Flagrant Howls. The Wolves want this to be physical.
Correct.
Because guess what? Last night, the Wolves had a bunch of foul trouble. They can throw, okay, we'll throw Terrence Shannon Jr. out there for half a quarter and go +7. Throw Jalen Clark. The Wolves have a deeper reservoir of players that they can throw at the Lakers if they get into foul trouble. So I say keep pushing the envelope on the physicality and frustrate those guys.
Agreed.
Totally. All right.
Write this down.
Back to Nick.
I'm kind of with you with the game 3. I think game 3, they're going to come out hot, especially at home. So I have a 3-item parlay for game 3. I think the Wolves win by at least 10. I think like I said before, the passing I didn't think was great. I think the Wolves combine as a team for 20 assists. And then I think Ant and Dante combined for at least 7 threes.
Yeah. Need Dante to get going here.
Yeah, it was a rough game,
The
man.
foul trouble. It was, comes in right in the third and gets a foul 2 seconds in, gets his fourth, and it's just,
Yeah, it was kind of brutal. Yeah, even in game one, like he was everywhere, and he's super versatile. He grabbed some big rebounds, but I think he only has 2 made threes in the series so far.
Write this down.
So, and this is a dude that was, now he was playing major minutes with the Knicks in the playoffs last year, but he had like a 39-pointer against whoever it was it second round? Like a 34-pointer. So there's a big Dante performance at some point coming there. All right, Judd, what's your second prediction?
All right. I am going to one-up my boy, Positive Phil, by telling you to write this down. The Wolves are going back to Los Angeles up 3-1 in the series. They're going to sweep the games here. They are going to sweep the games here. We're going to get full effect. Well, first of all, I think the one redeeming thing playoff time about that old decrepit building is it's got an environment to it, because it's not fancy, it's not nice. It's basically for this league in 2025, it's basically garbage. But that makes it that gives you, I think, a distinct advantage. And the one thing I love about the physical thing, like if I was to say that my favorite thing about how the Wolves are approaching this is they are trying to kick the ever-loving crap out of Doncic, which I think is great. And I think with the fans coming down here on him, he's either going to do what he did with the Mavs, but he doesn't have the outlets here. So I think he might struggle a little bit more. So Wolves are going to win games 3 and 4.
Yeah. We need a new arena here at some point. But there's something.
It's like Golden State was.
Yeah, there's something
Oakland.
really disrupting about it. And I mean, Luka pushed back at it and daggered the Wolves and ended the series inside Target Center. So, I think he would say bring it on. But it does have this kind of old school. It's as old school as you can get in the modern NBA. It's not like the old Boston Garden. I was catching up more on that Celtics HBO Max series last night before the Wolves game.
Crazy.
And I think it was the 86 finals between the Lakers and the Celtics, and the old Boston Garden did not have air conditioning, and it was a 100-degree day in early June.
God.
And they're showing, dude, like the fans are all just sweating through their shirts. The players are like Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is on a respirator on the sidelines. That's what they should do. If the Wolves, it's not warm enough right now, but if the Wolves play into May,
there was a lengthy delay in the 1990 Stanley Cup Finals between the Oilers and Bruins because I think the power went out at one point.
The ice started melting,
and they would also have like the fog would start to rise.
Yeah,
and so you couldn't see stuff. Like the Garden was another story, but I do think that the Wolves have a distinct advantage here because right now that building reminds me of a lot what the Warriors had at the end in Oakland.
Yeah.
Which was just sort of this, just people are on top of you and opposing players hate it.
It's going to be great. Love it.
Write this down.
All right, Dex.
Write this down. Ant, maybe a little tease for our hottest takes, but Ant will drop 40 or more points at some point in this series. We're going to get a big Ant game. It's coming.
Oh, yeah.
It's an eruption. I'll save my hot take for flagrant howls, but he'll drop 40 points or more at some point this series.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one.
Write this down.
Okay, I'll make a game 3, game 4 prediction here. Luka will get teed up at Target Center in either game 3 or game 4. And off the record, because I can't quantify this, the crowd will mock him mercilessly.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to be amazing. It is kind of crazy how disrespectful he is to officials, and they just stand there and take it. And I don't know I'm sure the league says, in the playoffs especially, be slow on the technical trigger because these guys are super emotional. These are nationally televised games. We don't want them being ejected. It's not a Tuesday night on the local telecast, so you're going to have to be a little more thick-skinned. But if he treats, and I think inside the home arena too for the Wolves, the fans start to get into it, and these officials are human beings too, and you get that little adrenaline rush when you tee a guy up and the crowd cheers for you, I think it's going to happen in game 3 or game 4.
The art of
Write
that
this
too,
down.
the one I saw in, was it game 1, where the official started to walk away, and then he teased
turn
him
around,
up, and then he
boom.
teased him
Yep.
up. It's just bang. I love that.
Love it, man. All right, back to Nick for your third and final prediction.
Write that down.
Phil, you're gonna like this one a lot, but has there ever been a poker prediction on the show?
I don't think so.
So, all right. The World Series of Poker, it's in Vegas in July, and the last 2 main events have been won by Americans. And I think we're going to go for the three-peat. So the World Series of Poker main event this year will be won by an American.
I love it. Are you a big poker fan? You play poker?
I will be having about 4 tables up as soon as we're done with this.
Oh, multi-tabling,
wow.
dude. Let's
You're
go.
like a young Mackey.
Oh,
man.
man.
Every time Phil talks about it, I'm like, that's kind of what I'm doing. But yeah, I don't get to play as much as I'd like to. But when I have the days off, definitely.
Can I ask, like, what is your age range?
I'm 24.
Okay. So, man, you missed out on a golden era. I turned 40 in the fall here, so I sound very old saying this, but in 2010 or 2011, the United States essentially put the kibosh on. It became a lot harder to play online poker. But before then, from like 2002 through 2010, anyone could just like get buzzed and go online and put their money in. And if you took it seriously, there was just a lot of money to be had between like 2002 and 2010. But you young whippersnappers now are playing low ROI, grinded out games, I feel like, compared to back
Studying
in
charts and all that.
We should teach Judd how to play.
No, I'm
poker.
good. I'm good. I got enough
Get
going
Judd
on in life. I got enough
multi-tabling,
going on.
sit and
No,
goes
no,
on.
no. I want to keep my money. No, I'm good. But thank you very much.
It's not even the money thing. I'm not good at it. I would love to gamble my money, but no.
You're drawing.
I
like-
don't
I would
have
love to lose all
blackjack
my
guy,
money.
right?
Yeah,
I
I
would
love
love to tell my wife, "Hey, we're broke."
I love blackjack. I can play blackjack, but poker.
Yeah, but
no.
like you don't unless you're like professionally counting cards over the long haul, you don't have an advantage in
Correct.
blackjack. You know,
But
poker you do. You're playing
You're
other
playing
people.
your opponent. You're not playing.
Yeah,
against the
and guess
dealer.
what? I can't even play myself. So no, I'm
can
no
stop right
shot
there. That
am
went
I going to be good
dangerously
at
close.
poker. I know where I'm going there. Yeah, it's dangerous.
Love it, man. Well, Nick, since you've got this platform again here, is there anyone in your life that you'd like to thank besides Phil Hellmuth that helped you get to this point?
Yeah, Phil Ivey. No, just first time I was on, I thank my parents. You know, grew up here, born and raised. Haven't seen anything that's made me not cry yet in the sports here. It's just always depression here. But so thank to my parents and everything. Just want to thank you guys. Been listening to you since almost pre-COVID, and so I know at work every day I got a couple hours of entertainment, and yeah, go Wolves.
Love it, man. Great predictions. Good luck at the tables. And we'll get you on again sometime, Nick.
Perfect. Thank you guys.
All right, there he is. Guest listener predictor Nick here on Write That Down. Before we get to our final predictions, let's talk about the best frozen pizza in the market right now, at least in my opinion. It's Legit Pizza, Pep's Pizza Company, Legit Pizza. Throwback vibes, pizza parlor vibes, stone-baked, cracker-thin, crunchy crust. Say that 5 times fast. Zesty tomato sauce, a bunch of different flavors or ingredients or options for you to go find in your local grocery store freezer section to have that authentic at-home pizza parlor experience. I think it's going to be a legit pizza weekend at some point for the Mackeys. Just pop a couple in that pizza maker and check out the square cutting too, by the way, is key on these legit pizzas. And check out some playoff action this weekend. So find those legit pizzas. All right.
Write this down.
Judd, your third and final prediction.
I just got a thought. You know what? The next time that the wife and I get in a spat, I'm going to tee her up and see what happens. But I'm going to start to walk away. No,
walk over
I'm
the
going to
scores
start to
table,
walk away first, right? I'm going to start to walk away,
have a whistle.
and then I'm going to stop and pirouette, and I'm going to tee her up, and I'm going to see what happens.
I love it. She's going to do more than tee you up the other way.
I know, but I mean, but you know what? I mean, it just occurred to me, wouldn't it be great to have tees in like life?
Oh, I love this concept. Yes.
I'm minus 5,000 on the money line to get teed up first before she gets teed up. That's
Well, but she doesn't know
not
about
even
it yet.
close.
Like once you start it, then it's on. Then
Technical foul.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's a foul.
Yep. Why didn't you do this? Why didn't you do that? Just like, darling. Yes.
Tactical foul. Hey,
That's a foul.
need you you can say your piece. No F-bombs. Okay, F-bomb, you get the technical foul. All right?
Write this
You
down.
draw the line on. That would be so good.
All right, what's your final prediction?
Okay, my final
Judley?
one is this: the Wild will win. The Wild will win Game 3
Koivu?
against Vegas on Thursday night.
Wow, take that series lead.
So they're going to cut. Yes,
Well, I thought they
yes.
had no chance to win the series.
I don't think they're going to win. The game last night was super bizarre. Vegas gets off to a great start. The Gus bus is phenomenal. The Wild comes back and scores 3 first-period goals, just takes control. The Vegas goaltender, Aiden Hill, didn't look good. The Wild scores a 4th goal at the start of the second period, basically, and then disappears.
Yeah, 'cause that's all you really need.
And
Like,
Vegas
you don't need more than
dominated
4
after,
goals.
like dominated that. But I think they're going to come back. You know what? Home fans again, in your building. I think they're going to win Game 3. I'm making no promises beyond.
I mean, I feel like if they win Game 3, then they definitely have a chance to win the series at that point. So,
They do, but I'm still not making any promises.
Haven't they? I think
taken-
this has happened. Like the
Yes,
last
they've taken
4
2-1
playoff
leads.
series,
Yes.
they've taken 2-1 series lead,
2-1.
and then
They
have gotten
ordinarily-
swept the rest of the way.
this is their
They
thing.
ordinarily win Game 1. They've won Game 1. It feels like a lot. Then they ordinarily lose Game 2, and then they'll win like Game 3. But yeah, it's how they operate,
Yeah.
and they're not that deep. But you know what? What the heck? I'm going with the
Write
Wild.
this down.
Positive Judd in the house here today. Love it. All right, Dex.
All right, long-term prediction with the Twins. At some point from June 1st through the end of the season, the Twins will have a starting lineup, with these 6 players in it. Luke Keeschall, Emmanuel Rodriguez, Byron Buxton, Carlos Correa, and Royce Lewis. They will at some point, they'll call up Keeschall. Oh, Keeschall's here, excuse me. They'll call up Rodriguez, Royce, Correa healthy, Buxton healthy, which all those 3 guys are never healthy at the same time.
Right.
They'll have a starting lineup at some point with all of those guys in it. Right.
And Royce is running again now. I saw last night.
Sprinting.
Sprinting. Okay.
Sprinting, and has a torpedo bat.
Oh, he's going for it all.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw.
He
Yeah,
didn't swing it in spring training, but he's been swinging it in the cage during his rehab work, and he likes it, so he's swinging it right now.
Provis said on the telecast last night that Jeffers, like 2 weeks ago, shelved the torpedo bat, but guys are getting new torpedo bats that have the weight distributed differently now because they all saw
It's all in the handle
what
now.
the Yankees did. That'd be hilarious. Just like the torpedo bat, you're holding it like your hands are up. You can't even close it. But anyway, all right.
Okay, write this down.
Write this down.
In the history of Target Field, the Twins have never ranked below 11th out of 15 American League teams in attendance. So they've never even been in the bottom 3 or 4. Yeah, they've never been even in the bottom 4 in the American League in attendance.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to say, write this down. The Twins will finish in the bottom 4 among American League teams in attendance. They're in there right now, very narrowly, by only like 75 fans per game. But this is tracking for easily the worst attendance season in the history of Target Field. So this is on a per game basis.
Okay.
The Twins will finish bottom 4 in the American League in attendance. The A's and the Rays are automatic locks because
They have to be.
the A's are playing in a minor league stadium and the Rays are playing in front of 4 people every night for 20 years. So there's 2 open slots, and all of the American League Central teams are in the mix for that. It's pretty much the American League Central teams, and maybe like the Orioles or the Mariners if they get really bad. As
White
this
Sox
thing
have to
evens
be
out.
one, right?
The White Sox right now are pretty close with the Twins. There's only like 750 fans per game separating White Sox and Twins average attendance per game right now.
As teams as well. So fits
Right.
perfectly.
Yeah, although that was a big win last night. Twins hanging on, made it dramatic there in the
Buxton had to
Final
make
minutes.
a Willie Mays catch to save Duran's ass against the White Sox.
Yeah, they're so right now and again the Twins got their 35,000 burst right away opening day as they always do. But last night Declan put the picture out. The announced attendance was like 12,000. I don't think there was 12,000 people in that building. So we know that the season ticket base must still be. It used to be like 30,000.
Yes.
Right? When Target Field opened, or 25,000?
It's probably around
25?
Yeah.
And now it is likely below 10,000.
But not much. It's
with a
gotta
couple thousand people that are buying tickets for each individual game.
It's got to be
maybe?
around like 9,000, right?
Yeah.
Because if you're going to announce 10 something, I mean, Dex, what was your estimation of the crowd last night?
I mean, I will say it got better after
Right.
the first. Like, it wasn't as sparse as my clickbaity picture made it out to be, but I don't know, probably 5,000 or 7,000, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, if you take away the COVID year of 2021, and I'll even give you 2022, I don't think they've ever had an attendance below like an average attendance below 20,000 per game. The first 2 years at Target Field, they sold. It was like 39,000 per game. They sold out basically every game.
Yep.
And now they are sitting at 17,000 average, and it's likely going to go down from there because these weeknight games are like 10, 11, 12, maybe 13,000. You might get up 20, 25 on the weekends, but it is, it's definitely tracking for the worst attendance season in Target Field history, unless they completely turn this thing around and get people excited in the second half of the season.
Good luck with that.
Good step taken last night. You got to beat these White Sox.
Write this down.
So, all right, dudes, those are your Write That Down predictions here. We got the football Vikings pre-draft related predictions over on Purple Daily. This is the OG edition here on Minnesota Sports with Mackey and Judd.